folks. On behalf of the Parkville Cemetery Board of Trustees, I have been asked to help them present a tour of the historic Parkville Pioneer Cemetery. Today is October 4th, 2020, and I am being assisted by the Cemetery Board of Directors here today. One of them, who you'll be seeing in this video, is Linda, and she will be my co-host. So I hope you enjoy this short little presentation I put together of today's events.
At age 16, Simon ran away from home and crossed the plains by ox team. I gotta pull this up because I'm not gonna be able to breathe. Paying his way by carrying water, wood, and taking care of the oxen. He landed in the Sacramento Valley in the fall of 1849. He tried gold mining, but he got homesick, and he and several others went back east. He didn't stay long, so he traveled west again to Omaha, Nebraska, where he went to work in a meat plant and learned the butcher trade. Then gold fever called again. He piloted on a team back to California and was paid $30 for his work. He landed at Fort Reading, then moved to Millville, and finally on to Shingletown, where he worked at the old dry mill. There he met 16-year-old Arzilla Shipton, who was the cook at the mill. They were married November 16, 1861. They moved to Battle Creek in 1866 and homesteaded the place now known as the Dara Springs Fish Hatchery, and they built a house. Native Americans of the area attacked them, robbed them, and burned the house. They then moved to Bear Creek. Simon was one of the first river raft riders who rode the lumber rafts from Ball's Ferry and Logan's Ferry south to Sacramento. He also owned many oxen and logged on several of the mills. He was a friend of poet Joaquin Miller. He was a member of the Millville Voluntary Militia Group. Simon and Arzilla had 11 children. Simon died on November the 29th, 1907. Dara Springs, Dara Creek, and Dara Fish Hatchery are all named for him.
Of William Barton Quillin in Fall River Mills, in 1923, a trail ranger in the Forest Service asked Quillin to make him some sort of trail grader that would work on the backtracking on the trail as well as the ford, and still throw the dirt to the same side. The man could only tell what was wanted, with no plan whatsoever in mind, but Quillin got the idea. From a circular saw, he fashioned a reversible plow blade. A blade that could be adjusted to any angle and bolted in place in a common plow frame. Much pleased with the contraption, the patron displayed it at the Forest Service conclave, and soon there came a demand for a grader that Quillin patented his invention and moved to Cottonwood, where he could more conventionally manufacture on a larger scale. The patent office rated the invention at $150,000. During the next few years, Quillin made 700 or 800 graders. This not only supplied the western forest, but some were shipped to France to be used as filling up shell holes made by the First World War. Except for the casting of the molds, these graders were all made by hand in a small blacksmith shop in Cottonwood, California. William Barton Quillin was married to Emerita Garrison, daughter of Eunice Josephine Tuggle. graves here, you will find the restored wooden marker of Charles Harvey Tuggle. His grave has the distinction of being the only wooden marker in the cemetery, to have survived a woodland fire in the mid-1960s that went through the cemetery and destroyed all other wooden markers. On behalf of the family, Mike and Diana Tuggle took possession of the wooden marker and began restoration. In April 2012, descendants of the Pioneer Tuggle family gathered here to dig, reposition, and mount the restored grave marker at the head of Charles's burial plot. Charles was born to William Harvey and Melinda Farrell Johnson Tuggle, these two here, in Keokirk, Lee County, Iowa, in 1851. Charles arrived in Shasta County in 1862 by covered wagon via Noble's Immigrant Trail and Old Station. They settled in Shasta and Tehama counties. Charles's father owned and operated a livery stable on Walnut Street in Red Bluff, and Charles assisted his father as he grew up. According to Keith Lingenfelter, Charles was a teamster in Red Bluff in 1872. He hauled goods from Sacramento to Shasta and beyond into Northern California. Eventually, his family moved to Ash Creek in Shingletown, where the shingle and shake making industry started back in 1851. About the time Charles was born, Charles found himself following the footsteps of these men, and in 1880 he began a career making shakes. According to Myrtle McNamar, the first thing a newcomer would learn was the art of shake making for those who arrived in the southeastern Shasta County. It was typical for a shake maker to make his own equipment, and Charles found it profitable for himself. He died in 1891.
And that concludes our presentation for today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.